Hey y'all, it's your friend D, and in today's video, I am back to working on the village. I hadn't really worked on it in, I think, 3 months. And the last video, I made the safety deposit boxes for the bank and the post office boxes. So today, I'm going to continue working on the bank, and I'm going to make the vault doors. Our safety deposit boxes need to be in a vault, and that vault needs a door. And I'm trying to save some space in this diorama, so I'm going to just be using some leftover paperboard I have from some packagings. And I cut them to 12.5 by 6.25 inches. And I have 4 pieces of paperboard cut to those dimensions. So these two I'm going to leave as is. And the other two, I have this line drawn in about a ½ inch. Yeah, a ½ inch in from the edge. And I have it on both sides and the top. The bottom, I did not need to draw that line because this is going to be the frame of the vault door, and I don't want a frame at the bottom. So to assemble my door, I'm actually going to make it in 2 separate pieces. So I'm going to take one of the pieces with my frame drawn on it, and I'm going to glue it on top of one of the plain pieces. And then I'll do the same for the other ones. So I'll glue these together. And the reason why I'm doing this is because this door will not open. I don't have the space in my diorama for it. I have 2 pieces glued together for my front and 2 pieces glued together for the back of the door. And this is going to make these pieces still pretty thin, but I'm fine with that. That's going to save me space in the room. And also, I want these to be flush to the wall. In most vaults, there's not a lot of space between the door and the frame. So in order to get that look, I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and score along my line here. And when I go over to paint the door, there'll be a noticeable gap between the door and the frame. The next thing I want to do is put some screws around the outside. I think they're called rivets, or not rivets, that's what a frog says. Rivets. I think that's what they're called. But I want some of those around the outside of the door, and I was going to use hot glue to make them, but I remembered I had these stickers. They're just little pearl stickers, and they come in a variety of colors. I think I'm going to use the white ones. And I'm just going to put them around the frame, and then I'll paint them later. These come with an adhesive backing, and they're all attached like this. But I'm going to take them off. They're pretty easy to pull off, and use a stronger glue because I don't know how sticky this backing is going to be. So I've started gluing some of the pearls in place, and it's going pretty good. I'm just using this tacky glue to do that. I have the little pearls in place, and now I'm going to put my first layer of paint on this. I'm going to use my Mod Podge and black paint mixture. I have this portion of a balloon stake left over from when I made the street lamps for the village, and I think I'm going to use it on the door. It looks like those wheels that you turn to open up the vault. And I'm going to trim it, take off this bottom half here, and probably trim these sections just a little bit more, and I'll paint the entire thing black. So I've cut the bottom portion off, and I also bent the spokes in some, well, quite a bit actually. And I'm going to cover up the center with some paperboard. I just cut it into a circle and painted it black, and I'm going to put a piece on top in the center like this. Almost looks like a steering wheel. And I'll put another piece on the bottom. As I'm looking at the front of the vault door, I think I want it to be a little bit more ornate, so I want a few more things on here. I'm not going to glue this in place yet, but I do think I want to have it in the center, maybe up just a little bit, so about there. And I'm going to take some of these skewers from the Dollar Tree, and I've already painted them black, and I'm going to place them on the door because I have seen vaults that have those rods that slide into the floor and the ceiling to help secure the door. So when you turn it, these move. Now, obviously, mine are not going to move. They're just decorative. But I think I'm going to do that. And I cut up some more paperboard because I need a way to make it look like they're realistic and anchored in. So yeah, those are going to hold them in place. And then I'll put some more of these little buttons on it to make it look like they were welded in place. So in real life, these would slide up and down through here. So I have some smaller pieces of scrap wood. As you can see, it is a lot thinner than the pieces I've used already. And I'm going to use a couple of these to make the handles for the front and back of the door. And I cut a strip of paper and I'm going to wrap it around the ends to kind of build that up a little bit more. I have everything glued in place, and now I'm going to use this metallic silver paint from the Dollar Tree. I started off using the metallic silver by itself on this side, and I don't like the way it looks, so I think I'm going to put a thin layer of elephant gray. That's this over here. I'm going to do the whole thing in the elephant gray first, and then I'll go over it with the metallic silver. I have a bunch of these mini brand safes that I never put together because I wanted to save the keypads for other projects, and one of the projects was this one. So I'm going to take one of these extra keypad stickers and put it on the front of my vault door. Here's the finished vault door, well, the front of the door, and I love the way this came out. I am going to keep the back of the door separate because I'm going to include that in the room with the safety deposit boxes, and that setup is going to be a completely different space. I don't think I'll have room inside of the bank for that part of the bank. So, my friends, let me know what you think about the bank vault. And if you have any questions about anything in this video, please leave it in the comments below. I will try my best to answer your questions. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I'll see you next time, my friends. Bye-bye.